Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Ōkami. Today we're going to be doing the entirety of the Gale Shrine. First, I have to pick up... Oh, no I don't! I'm 20,000 yen short of the Infinity Judge, which is our new reflector-type weapon. That's a little bit more powerful than the one that we have, and also more powerful than the rosary that we have, though that's to be expected because the rosary is a medium-range, multi-hitting weapon. So it sacrifices a little bit of power to get that. It is polite to knock. So all we really have to do is revisit Princess Fusei, deliver the remaining 3 Satomi Power Orbs, and then we can break the Crimson Helm's barrier over the shrine. Oh, there actually is one more cool thing that I can show in here that I almost forgot about. It has to do with that statue near the stairs. So you see how one of its eyes is different from the other? One of them is not filled in? I don't think that's it. Yeah, okay. You can paint the other eye in. And it cracks in half to give you an exorcism slip. There are a couple of statues like that throughout the village. I always love those neat little interactables, the ones that aren't completely obvious. So when we have a little bit more treasure to sell and a little bit more yen, we'll come back for the Infinity Judge. Although by time we can do that, we might actually not even want it. We might have a better weapon by then. So Princess Fusei is retreated back into her little house, along with the 5 other puppers. Aw, so cute. It's a really Spartan house, though. Easy's Wolfenbug. You didn't bring back their whereabouts? Nah, we found them, but they opted to stay and just surrendered the power orbs to us. Well, I did sense that the Canine Warriors had changed in some way. Maybe they had a fateful encounter. If they were to live apart from Satomi House, I have but one wish. I would wish them to protect the peace under their new master. That's the role that they were intended to fulfill in the first place. So that's 8 for 8. 8 Satomi Canine Warriors, 8 Satomi Power Orbs, 8 Confucian Virtues. And that is what we need to break the barrier. But what's this? The Satomi Power Orbs have chosen a new master. Isun was apparently honestly expecting Princess Fusei to do all the work in this shrine, in this new dungeon. Yeah, he's legitimately surprised that fighting the Crimson Helm falls to us. Yeah, their decision's final. Oh, it looks like we are once again burdened with the task of doing a Zelda Dungeon. I like the Gale Shrine, though. It is unfortunately not the most in-depth, but there's some trade-offs. Namely a cool new power-up and an aesthetic that I really like. Plus some pretty cool story stuff. And it is right up ahead. We visited this one earlier. That's how we found out about the barrier in the first place. And waiting for us at the start of the dungeon is Susanoo, sleeping monk hidden sake. He's somewhere between meditation and sleeping, trying to unravel the mystery of his defiled, possessed sword. Your true form shall be revealed. This cursed barrier may bar my way, but if I pray long and hard, I shall eventually find a way in. So let's revisit Yatsu. Ah, he's been meditating alone at the shrine's entrance. His sleep is filled with nightmares that make him cry out. I pity the poor man and would like to render what service I could, but when I try to peer into his dreams, an evil force bars my way. So there actually is something to what Susanoo has been saying. Oh right, he can't see, so he can't see the orbs swirling about us. So, let's break down this barrier and get on with this relatively short dungeon. The preamble to it is almost as long. So, it's said when the eight-headed serpent was slain 100 years ago, Crimson Helm emerged from a pool of the beast's blood. Never let your guard down. Hey, his prayers to the gods must have paid off! Must have finally communed with the gods! The time has come, foul spirit, now I shall reveal your true form! No, Pops, wait! Oh wait, do you have more to say? Is not life dear to that man? Beware, fair maiden, Crimson Helm is a terrible foe. Okay. That was it? That was really it? Yeah. I thought there was more to this conversation. Huh, I guess not. So this is the Antichamber of the dungeon, and it really is as simple as it looks. It's an incredibly linear dungeon. There are no real branching paths to this one. If we had gone down the larger cave, we would have simply been confronted with a locked door. And this is also a dead end with a new enemy and a demon gate. The new enemy is a Chimera. And the Chimera is not all that difficult, especially with the rosary. It's a really evasive enemy type, which can make it difficult to hit with the much more melee-focused reflectors. But as is... Oh, we didn't dodge that. As is, it's not too bad. It has some projectile attacks, it can fly around, it can spin at you. But mostly you just want to whack away at it until it gets stunned and then do some power slashing. And this one's floral finish is also a power... Oh, did I not do that late enough? No, I must have done too much damage when I finished it with the power slash, even though it was like a third of its health. Yeah, as I was saying, the floral finish for the Chimeras is the power slash. And they actually drop 2 Demon Fangs. It's just apparently when it gets down to the last third of its health, you should probably whack away at it a little more to get it into that floral finisher state, that near-death state. So now that we have the Exorcism Arrow, which is the key for the lockjaws, we can take it across here. And, oh, I love this room. This is so beautiful. And you can pretty well see what we're going to have to do here in the Gale Shrine. But that's for later. Now, before we move on, I'm just going to check around the place, make sure that there's nothing cool here, which I don't think there is. Just a lot of pottery. Hey, yen. We'll take a little bit of that. It's not worth wasting too much time on, but hey. And this is a really nifty elevator. You can see in the center, a very familiar symbol. That is the bomb symbol. When you draw a bomb on top of it, it swallows it up and uses it as propulsion. God, that's nifty. And now there's something else that we can do before we get off on the second floor, which is our stop for the critical path. We're gonna send this up to the third floor so that we can get beneath the elevator. There's nothing too important down here unless you're going in for the collectibles. Like, I think there's another Zodiac statue, there's a stray bead, there it is. I really wish this is where they had hidden the solar fragment for this dungeon, because unlike the Suit of Ruins, this one does actually have one. Oh, let's feed the mice. What do they eat? Should be herbs, I guess? Oh, maybe seeds. Yeah, okay. Feed the mices. This would have been a really good location to hide something nifty and impactful like a solar fragment. But we get, I think, 2 of the clovers down here. And we get some other treasures. Holy bone. This should be, oh, this is the rabbit statue, one of the Zodiacs. And then one more clover. That means we get to ride the elevator again, which is kind of a treat. It's so nifty. Oh, it must be because I didn't close the circle. I mean, I barely closed it there. Photoshop would not think so, but... Okay, so we're getting off on the second floor. Again, this is a very quick dead end with a demon scroll. In this one, we are going to fight for another chimera. Oh god, that's such a cool design. My praise for Okami's art has been ubiquitous throughout this LP, but before I started replaying the game, I genuinely forgot just how good the enemy designs in particular are. That is a great rendition of a chimera. Just infinite personality in these designs. So we do power slash number 2, and then for the final one, we're just gonna hit it a few times and then hope we can get the floral finish for extra fangs. Oh yeah, the rosary really just messes these things up. Okay, now we should be able to get that. Cool, and there's both of our fangs. Chimeras can be a little bit tough when they're flanked with other enemies, because left to their own devices, they kind of cover a lot of the battlefield with stuff. And it drops yet another exercising arrow. And we're going to be taking that up to the top floor. First, we can get a glimpse of things around us, including another flaming treasure chest. This one is not by a body of water, so we can't use the water spout to extinguish it. We're going to have to use something else. Something that we get in the Gale Shrine. The Gale Shrine, located within the place where they keep talking about the divine wind. You know, in the place full of windmills. Whatever could it be? It is a mystery to you and me. To acquire the brushstroke of this dungeon, you must go up to floor 3. Oh, another one of these. Bird! Bird, 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 bird. Bird, 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 bird. Poor bird. We have to keep the sky rats in check. And feed the actual mice. And this is a really nice thing about this walkway, is that you can just run up it because it's impossible to run yourself off the edge. So we're going to the top of the windmill. The one that has been an enormous landmark this whole way through. So this is a really short linear dungeon, but I love the art direction here. It's got this thick, spooky atmosphere that's obviously my jam. Swirling around in front of the big windmill. Almost looks like wind, but it's black and foreboding. It's as if the winds were being forced in the opposite direction. Wonder if that swirling evil air is what stopped the windmill. Must be the work of Crimson Helm. So here's the thing. You don't draw with it because the wind is going in the opposite direction that it's supposed to, so you draw against it. Loop. And then there's another one. This one is in a spiral. And just to speed this along, know that you draw the spiral from the outside. Outside going in. And we've cleared things up. Made the atmosphere lighter too. And most importantly of all, started the windmill turning again. We brought back the divine wind. And Isun is so hyped for this windmill? He loves it. It's starting to spin. Look how strong the divine wind's blowing. The windmill have started to spin again. Sure hope this drives away the evil in Kusa Village. And, right on cue, new constellation, new god, new power. Ooh, and this one appears to be a horse. It's Mr. Horse, and he's brought you his son. Mr. Spider wants more. There's so much charm and personality in these cutscenes in every aspect of this game, really. That's what makes it such a delight. At last, light shines upon me. Use my power to manipulate the wind. Oh, it's a wind power? What? What? This is actually a really cool wind power. It works just like what we were just doing. That was essentially the tutorial for the Gale Storm. And he actually has 2 marks. So one of the interesting things to note about it is that just like the wind before, it's directional. The wind's blowing, but you drew it in the wrong direction, Furball. We have to draw it going with the windmill. So that means... Oh, that's not gonna work. I gave it a curly tail. We want to go in clockwise. The Gale Storm actually has a whole bunch of interesting subtleties. Like for instance, not only is it directional, which means that you can blow the wind left or right, you can also blow it forward, and that's why it has 2 marks. When you do a loop, depending on the direction you draw the loop, it's either going to be left or right, but if you draw it in the spiral, then that means it's going to blow forward. Also, the strength of the gust, there we go. The strength of the gust is based on how big you draw it. And this is where we find the sun fragment of the dungeon. Not really the coolest hiding spot. See what I mean when I say that should be at the bottom of the elevator? Like nice and hidden, and you kind of have this jolt of like, oh cool, I can actually do this! As opposed to just making a leap. Get one more view of the surrounding area. I saw one of Sakia's trees. Unfortunately, you don't get to see too much else from up here. The vista's kind of limited. Oh yeah, and the flaming treasure chests. that we can't put out with water. Well, now we have an alternate solution. And that gets us the Gale Shrine Map, which is even more useless than the map of the Suda Ruins, especially for when you get it. Because we are almost all but done with the dungeon. There's essentially one more room and then the boss room. So let's power up the windmill. You have the right idea, Emmy, but I think you're making the wind blow in the wrong direction. Blow it towards the windmill. Hmm? The opposite, or is it forward? Oh, it's forward. So we want a spiral from the outside, and we're good. Now we have one more really cool use for the Gale Storm that we haven't seen yet. And it's my favorite part of this. Oh, and hey! We saw those big scrolls before. You'll blow away if it gets much stronger. That's not really true. They do blow up, though. I mean, upwards. And you can even see if you tilt the camera up. Yeah, we can get an angle. They stay horizontal for a little while. That's something important to take note of. Also, there are mice to feed and treasure chests all over the rafters. But our goal is this Konohana Blossom. That gets us right next to the scroll. So what we're going to go ahead and do is make the wind blow. Oh, nope, not that way. Guess we're doing this. Okay. I think this just might be... Yeah, this is because of how I'm facing the camera angle. It's also directional in that sense, too. So now we do some platforming across the banners. Ah, isn't that nifty? Oh. So, I'm gonna make sure that these stay blown. Oh, no! Damn it. I think I'm gonna remedy that by just turning the camera after I've created the gust. It persists for a little while, but eventually they will fall back down. Can't believe this is the only time in this whole dungeon that we have to use that ability that we got in Suda Ruins. You end up using the cherry bomb more than you use that. Let's grab the treasure chest. Maybe we'll get a lacquerware set or a wooden bear. Hey. And small Gale Storm. Just enough to do the crossing. And we're now just above a second floor of the room that we were in. And we jump down, and what we're looking at is the boss door. So we're going to pick up with Crimson Helm next time. For now, thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, everyone.